Good evening. My name is Jason Davidson, and today I would like to talk to everyone about some simple basic steps that you can use in training your dog. We all who have dogs know that this can be a very hard task sometimes, but using these simple steps, I think that we can all find out that training a dog really doesn't have to be all that hard. The first and probably the most important step is giving your dog a name. Sometimes we have a tendency to take this for granted, but at the end of the day, this is how our dog associates with us. This is how we use his name to give commands. And the dog picks up on his name and usually knows that there's a command coming behind his name. So if we could only follow this first step, it would help us along the way in preparing for the other steps that it takes in order to train our dog in a proper way. Second, we have to start with key words. Giving your dog simple words for commands like sit, come, stay. All these are words that the dog can easily translate. We have to remember that our dogs do not speak English. They don't comprehend the English language, so to speak. So when we give these certain words as commands, they're not necessarily understanding the word as much as they're understanding a command that comes by hearing that word. So when we tell our dog to sit, we have to immediately give him something to enforce that command, whether it be a treat or a pat on the back or a scruff behind the ears, whatever the case may be. Our dog will naturally associate that key word with a command to do something. My dog, for instance, name is Charlie. So when I say, Charlie, sit, Charlie knows the first thing he picks up on is when he hears his name, there's a command that's going to follow hearing his name. So when I taught Charlie to sit, I use the treat method. When I want him to do something, perform a command while I was training him, I always use a treat for leverage. We all know that a dog loves snacks, so I said, well, I'll use that to my advantage. Dogs love to eat. I keep snacks on hand. When I get ready to teach my dog, I use those snacks as a motivator to train him to do what I want. Next, when you give dogs key words, help him pick it up by inducing the command to him. If I wanted Charlie to sit, if I held a treat above his head, he's going to have to look up at me, and it naturally makes him want to sit on the ground to look up at me. So when he does that, Charlie, sit. Hold the treat above his head, he sits down, I give him the treat. Doing that time after time, Charlie finally picks up on, hey, when he says Charlie sit and I sit, I get something to eat. So we have to use our knowledge over what they understand. Like I said, dogs don't understand English. They do understand food. So we use food as an advantage to us when we're training a dog. Finally, be sure to reward your dog. A dog is only going to do what you want if he thinks that he's going to get something in return. Their aim is to please us. And if they know if I sit when he says sit, I'm getting something to eat. Or if I lay down when he says lay, I'm getting something to eat. If you don't have a snack on hand, give your dog, like I said, a pat on the back or a belly rub or something like that. Just something to show the dog that you understand his good behavior, that you are willing to reward him for his good behavior. There's a lot of books out there that teach us how to train our dogs. I picked up a lot of these methods out of those books, one being Training German Shepherds. You know, that's the name of the book, Training German Shepherds, and it was a very helpful book in me being able to train my dog. Also, we have to take these training methods and understand that they do get a lot more in depth. However, these simple basic steps will get you on the right track in order to training your dog. And if we have a happy dog, we're happy. And we all want our dogs to be able to follow commands. So hopefully these steps will help someone in effectively training their dogs in a simple way. Thanks.